Hey y'all, welcome to Life on Hilton Creek. My name is Mimi and these are my cows. I'm actually sitting in the working pen lot with the weaning calves. If you watched the video the other day, we showed you that we brought in 8 new calves, 5 replacement heifers, and 3 bulls, which will soon be steers and freezer beef. And we brought those in last week. And then yesterday, my oldest son, Kevin, brought in 3 heifers. Now we have 8 heifers and 3 bulls. We're just sitting out here with them, just trying to let them be around a voice and a person and all those things. Not to make them a pet, but to make them feel calm around people. It makes them a little easier to work. It makes them want to stay home a little better. And we're just trying to socialize them a little bit. I'm trying to socialize them a little bit. So the video today is about the signs of winter. So is it an Appalachian sign, just kind of an old wives' tale, something your grandma taught you, something you've just always heard? So while watching the weather the other day, they mentioned how many fogs we had in August. And I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but the number of fogs that you have in August is a prediction for how many snows you'll have through the winter. Y'all know I love to do the New Year's superstition kind of thing and the traditions and that sort of thing, and this is my winter version, I suppose. So after I was reminded of that, I got online and started reading and looking. I got my Farmer's Almanac, words are hard, out and began to scan through it. And y'all, if you don't get a Farmer's Almanac every year, you should. More than likely garden centers won't have them because they don't want you to know when to do it. They want you to do it wrong and then come back and buy replacement plants because you did it wrong. Let's go through. I made a list, y'all, because it was just fascinating to me what some of this stuff, some of it I'd never heard of. So I had to go to the house and get the right paper and come back. So let's see, it says the first frost, which my daddy always said this, the first frost will come 6 weeks after the last thunder in September. So if that is true, then we'll probably have our first frost in about 4 weeks. I forgot to look it up in the almanac to see when our first frost is called for. They're usually pretty accurate within a week or so. So y'all know probably that the moon is like a major sign. Farmers, everybody, used to watch the moon to know what the weather's gonna be like, when to wean their babies, when to put the bull in or the buck or whatever, and when to do everything on the farm and most everything in life. So in predicting the weather, you watch for the harvest moon and the hunter's moon. This year, the harvest and hunter's moon both are on October 6th. Both on the same day, same night, I mean. And so the harvest moon, you look for size and color. If it's a smaller white moon, it's going to be a mild, kind of dry winter. No big deal. If it's a large, orangey red moon, and you know what I'm talking about, the one that looks like a fireball in the sky, then look out, cut extra wood, start banking some money for your light bill because it's going to be cold. It's going to be snowy. It's going to be wet, which usually means ice if you live in the right part of the world. it's going to be a bad winter. Now, also, they say if a hunter's moon has a ring around it, then it's going to be a cold, snowy winter because there's already moisture in the atmosphere. And if it doesn't have a ring around it, it's going to be kind of a dry, mildish winter. Cut your extra wood, put your money back for your light bill, start saving. Maybe buy up some salt and a snow scoop, snow shovel, and get a sled because it's going to be a snowy, cold winter. Those are the two ways that you can tell by the moon. I'm sure there are others. Leave them in the description box below. I'll write them down. If you have something else to do with the moon, let me know. I also found out that spider webs can predict the weather, the winter. I posted a little short video of the huge spider webs in my yard. I came out to drink my coffee. It was real early, like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And there were massive spider webs in my yard, like hanging from the trees and all around there. And of course they had the dew on them, so they were just shining bright. And I was like, holy cow, I'd hate to meet the spider that made that thing, because it was massive. And come to find out, if you're seeing a lot of spider webs and they're big and they're thick, it's going to be a bad winter, because they make them bigger and thicker, more efficient to catch everything they can before wintertime. And also, if you see spiders a lot, like on your porch and around, then that's a second sign, because they are out trying to catch everything they can to eat. Some of them might be trying to catch you. I don't know. And I guess I'd heard that maybe, but I didn't really know how it worked about spider webs. So that's a neat one, I thought. Now, the woolly worm is one that my daddy told me about. I've heard it since I was a little bitty girl, big enough to know what a woolly worm was. And it's just, they can be any length, and they're furry and different colors. You can't tell which end is which until you see them crawl. Some are solid black. Some are like a brownish, rusty color. And some of them are striped with the black and the brownish color and the black. And I've never seen one with more than black and brown and black. You might have, but I haven't. Well, if they're dark black and solid, it's going to be a rough winter. Wet, cold, snowy. One that is brown, rusty colored, mild, dry. And if it's black striped and black and brown striped, then it's going to be a winter that comes and goes. So it'll be really cold 1 minute, and then you'll have a little break, and then it'll be really cold again. I don't know that I've ever paid enough attention or made mention, written it down or anything, but I know there are people out there who do. I know that there are people out there who keep a journal and a written record of rain and snow and signs and all of that. If you're one of them, share with me. In the beginning of this video, I told you about the fogs in August. So I emailed our local weather guy, Leland Statham, and to get the official. Because I had heard one number, I emailed him to get the official. And at the NWA, National Weather Association, at the BNA, Nashville Airport, officially we had 10 mornings in August with a fog or misty mist. Now, other people have said 17. I live out in the country, so my fog is going to be different than your fog. So I don't know, but it'll be at least 10. And that means we'll have at least 10 snows or weather events this year. Snow, I don't mind. I mean, I do mind. Cold weather hurts me to the bone. But I would rather have snow than ice. I'll take 10 snows. We do burn wood. Usually out in the rural area like we live, when you have ice, it's bad news. Power lines come down, trees come down on power lines. You can't get out, you can't go nowhere because every road is like it's up a hill, down a hill, up a hill, down a hill. So it's a little harder. Now we have 4-wheel drive trucks and we have people that know how to drive them. And if worse comes to worse, we got a tractor. But not everybody is that blessed or lucky. So snow, we can get by, because let me tell you something. If Leland Statham gets on Channel 5 and says it might snow, there's not going to be any bread or any milk in the stores. And most of the time, other staples will be gone too. So when people hear snow, they just think they're going to be locked up for days, I reckon. Milk and bread. We all sing the milk and bread song. This is another one that my daddy shared with me when I was a little girl. We talked about it over the years. Watch the animals. Now specifically, my daddy was talking about the birds, but he also said as a kid, they would watch the squirrels and raccoons and other animals to see how they were acting in the early fall and know whether or not it was going to be a bad winter. If you see the birds migrating early, you can count on it that it's going to be a cold, cold winter, and probably a longer than usual winter. If you see squirrels just going crazy over the acorns that fall early, if it's going to be a bad winter, and my yard is covered, I mean, it's like walking on skates, then it's probably going to be a long, cold winter. The blue jays are crazy at my house, and I haven't had blue jays all summer. I haven't had a squirrel, but for the last 3 weeks, I've had a squirrel that comes in and just goes crazy. The birds are going to eat me out of house and home. I even still have hummingbirds. My 3 regulars left, and now I have 2 more. I have to fix new nectar today to put out, fresh nectar. I have been known to leave them up all winter just in case there's that one straggler, because I have read over and over again about how a hummingbird maybe has an injury and can't fly, and then when they recoup and fly, they've got no food, or they're en route to wherever they're going and they don't have enough food sources to keep them going because people take their feeders in. Like a lot of y'all probably already took your feeders down or are getting ready to in the next week or 2. And if I could just suggest to you that maybe you don't, at least until it gets bitter cold. You know, if your nectar is freezing, then I'm sure you probably want to bring it in. But if not, keep it fresh and keep it out for those stragglers that come in. You'll be surprised at how late in the year you might see one. So watch your bird activity, watch your animal activity, see what they're doing, how they're eating, and those kinds of things. Watch the leaves on the trees. If the leaves on the trees are dying, but they're not falling off, they're just hanging on, chances are you're going to have a long, cold winter because they're hanging on to their insulation. I know. It's crazy, right? Nature knows what to do. Now, this might be getting into a little more than any of y'all want to look for, but this is just an old time. It's been around forever. Kent's granny used to talk about it. The corn husk and how thick the corn husks are, how thick the skins are on the onion, how thick the apple peeling is, the peeling on an apple, if it's thick and hard and tough. All of those things are signs of a bad winter because they're trying to protect themselves. So if you're buying an onion or growing an onion, pay attention and you'll know what kind of winter you're going to have. Corn husk will give it away too. Corn husk, if they're really thick, lousy winter. And I told y'all about the acorns. If you've got a bunch of acorns and walnuts, and if you have a pecan tree and you have an overabundance of all of these, it's going to be a harsh winter. And we have 4 oak trees in our yard, and they are all, you can sit on the porch and listen to the acorns fall out of the tree. It's that bad. I mean, I was filling up my bird feeder 2 weeks ago, give or take, and got hit on the shoulder with an acorn falling out of the tree. So I'm going to guess that's a pretty good sign we're going to have a rough winter. Every sign in my area and every person, oh, and the persimmons. I almost forgot about the persimmons, y'all. I do not have a persimmon tree, but I want one. So if any of my local friends have one or know where I can get one, I need a persimmon tree. All of the persimmon in our area are spoons. So for those of you who don't know, you take a persimmon and you cut it in half, and if the seed in the middle is in the shape of a spoon, you're going to have a bad winter. A bad winter. You're going to be shoveling a bunch of snow. If the seed in the middle is a knife, which means it's just straight like any other seed, you're going to have a dry, average winter. Everybody I know, I've seen them all over the Book of Faces, from my neighbors and my friends, and they are all spoons. I have yet to see one knife, except for a post of my cousin in Kentucky, and they had a knife. And they usually have more snow than we do, way more snow. So, I don't know. All the signs here are leading to a harsh winter. Luckily, we have enough hay banked up that I think we'll be all right for our girls and boys to eat and to winter. We do have those no-freeze waters, so hopefully we won't have to worry about that. Yeah, I'm not looking for it. I'll be in the house all winter if that's what it is. I usually come out for one snow if it snows, and maybe drive the Kubota so the kids can go to the top of the hill or something like that. I am the hot chocolate maker. I make Hershey's hot chocolate all day long. Some like it with marshmallows, some like it without, but it is the recipe on the side of the Hershey's cocoa, Hershey's cocoa powder and sugar and vanilla and milk. I think that's everything. And maybe a little water when you're getting it started. So that's what I do when it's cold. I make hot chocolate so it's ready when everybody comes in. So my job will be to make sure I have plenty of milk in the refrigerator if it's going to snow.
Go ahead, scoop a little bit. Scoop a little bit. Move your bucket.
Oh, can I try now? I thought you had to like.
You ready? Shut it. Yeah. All right, open it up. All right, shut it for a minute. Nope. Now open it a little bit. That's good. That's it. Got it? All right.
I thought you had to like hold it.
speak right here.
And we'll stay a bus thing we already on.
Huh?
No, we won't stay a bus thing we already on.
All right, thanks, sir.
Do I need to